3-0 it finished. Julian Alvarez involved in all 3 goals. But we saw some vintage Messi, Luis Miguel, and that is where we must start.
A vintage Messi, Kay Murray, a vintage Messi, 35 years old, and he's defying gravity, logic, football logic. I don't know what to tell you. It was a remarkable achievement. Our producer keeps giving us stats on Lionel Messi in this World Cup, and I'm sure that Kay and I, we're going to talk about some of them, but it's really more than that. This man is ridiculous. The fact that he was the man of the tournament in 2014 when they were in the final that time around against Germany and lost, of course, and now once again they're in the final is amazing. And it's even more amazing the fact that Argentina lost to Saudi Arabia. What an obstacle they had to climb. Every game from that moment became a massive challenge, and they did it over and over again. They're not Copa America champions for no reason. What a remarkable performance. We're going to talk about how poor Croatia were, of course, but Argentina, Julian Alvarez, Enzo as well in the middle with DePaul and McAllister. But really, this is about Lionel Messi leading his Argentina side to another World Cup final. Fantastic stuff for the South Americans.
I tell you what a story. Lionel Messi, just take even his club career aside, just his story with Argentina, with its ups and downs through the years leading up to even this point, even if it stopped here, it would be a fantastic read for anyone, and definitely some great viewing as well. Anyway, we can welcome in now a man who's written many a story about Lionel Messi. He's followed his career very, very closely. Sam Marsden, thanks so much for joining us on the Daily. What did you make of Messi today for Argentina?
Yeah, well, as Luis says, words are failing us for Messi these days. I mean, I think the most incredible thing is that he's coming now at 35, and I think that kind of he's playing with a little bit of weight off of his, not off of his shoulders. It's still on his shoulders, and there's still that pressure, especially now that Argentina are in the final. But in past tournaments, you really felt and you really saw from his body language that he really carried that with them. And I actually tweeted before the Saudi Arabia game, and it's almost. I can bring it back up now because they've got to the final. But I said that he just looked so sort of free and so sort of relaxed in terms of a major tournament that he's not had before, perhaps off the back of that Copa America win. And it has proved as so, I think, throughout these games. Even like Argentina have been pretty much under pressure in every game since that Saudi Arabia game. And they've delivered. I don't think they've always been brilliant. I think they've been better in other games, worse in other games, had good spells and bad spells. I don't think they've been an outstanding team. But yeah, I mean, Messi has been fantastic, and that assist for the goal today. I mean, lots of people are commenting it on social media. The fact that it was Gvardiol who for Croatia has perhaps been the standout centre back, not just for them, but in the tournament. Perhaps he would be in the team of the tournament. And Messi, 35 is still putting him on the floor, sort of reminiscent of the not quite, but that Jerome Boateng moment for Barca back in the Champions League semi-final, and then putting it on a plate for Julian Alvarez, who obviously also deserves lots of credit for his role in the 3 goals, as you said, Ken. Him coming into the team to replace Lautaro has proved a masterstroke from Scaloni.
Yeah, and we got to remember as well, Kay, that, some great stuff there from Sam. We got to remember as well that this is Scaloni's first World Cup as a manager. And I know that obviously that's, kind of understated, obviously, because of the squad that he has. But to lose against Saudi Arabia, the entire pressure of not just the team, but the nation were on him. This is an Argentina side that has needed to not just, I'm done with saying things like Messi dependencia. It's not about that. It's about, you have a gem, a jewel like Lionel Messi. What do you do around it? And, Sam brought up Julian Alvarez, who, by the way, is just magnificent. What a magnificent player. And I know that we'll talk about him later, but it's not just about him. All the pieces needed to work. Just one comment on that, on what he did to Gvardiol, by the way, that assist for Messi. I mean, he's 20 years old, the Croatian defender, or in his 20s, right? Lionel Messi's 35, and he sent him back to kindergarten with that. It was unbelievable.
And yet, Luis, there's no shame in it because it's Messi. It's
not an insult to him. No, yeah, that's right. It's not an insult to him. Like, what he did was ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous what he's doing. And to me, like, it's more impressive than any World Cup performance that we have seen. By the way, becomes Argentina's all-time scorer in the tournament. Unbelievable stuff.
Really unbelievable stuff. We must keep talking just a little bit about Messi because I really do want to get to Julian Alvarez, the kid who grew up with posters of Messi on his wall And that also takes away some of that chat about Messi
How old
dependency.
do we feel, Kay?
What a performance. I know. Although in football, someone can be 5 years older than you and they're an idol, because there's that, there's that bit where maybe you're headed into your teens, so you don't have to feel that old. I am starting to feel old, though, with the players that I'm seeing enjoying their last World Cups. That's starting to make me feel old. But we must continue to talk about Messi, because Sam, so often we talked about everything that we saw with him in Barcelona. And for many years, there were Argentines who criticized Messi because they wanted more from him on the international stage. And they wanted him to be doing the things that he was doing with Barcelona in terms of winning these trophies. They've got to be happy with this now. And it feels as though there has been a change in the way that they see Messi in recent years, that finally, even the critics from Argentina that weren't always behind him and now behind him, it feels like everybody believes in this player right now.
Yeah, like you say, it's such a contrast in a way, his club career and success with Barcelona to the mostly, I mean, getting to the World Cup final, I guess, isn't up, but then the downs and, the painstaking sort of heartbreak of penalty shootouts in Copa America finals with Argentina, coinciding with his 2016 retirement. And perhaps that retirement was perhaps the start of, sort of the changing of the opinion towards him, if you will, because like you say, he's never been revered like Maradona. There's obviously lots of reasons for that. But, there was that campaign to bring him back. And perhaps since then, I think his relationship has improved. I mean, they still underperformed, I guess, a little bit. They lost to eventual winners France in 2018. But from there, there's been sort of an upwards arc with Scaloni coming in and, with the way the team has sort of, been built around Messi without quite being obviously Messi's. You're always going to depend on Messi without quite saying Messi dependency. But there's a different sort of feel to this Argentina team and how it's built around him, like you say. And yeah, it's all sort of, I mean, before the tournament, I wasn't so sure, especially after the Saudi Arabia game and some of the performances, even though they were getting through, I wasn't sure. But it's all sort of feeling all too sort of romantic and all too sort of set up for Messi to finally get his hands on this World Cup at 35, isn't it?
Yeah,
it does have that feel, doesn't it?
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.